Hello and welcome to a brand new video. Just a quick one for you guys today. What I'm going to do is a guide for the Nightmare of Ashihama. A load of you guys have been asking me about it and how to get there, what to do, how to kill it and all that kind of stuff. I've been doing it since day one and I've racked up quite a few KC on the Nightmare. It's actually really easy once you get the hang of it, but the problem is getting into it. It's really hard to get used to all the mechanics and stuff, and a lot of guides just say to go out there and max gear, max crush bonus like this, you know, learn the prayer switches, but that there's like a trial by combat. You're going out there, you're getting completely wrecked until you know what you're up to. You actually don't have to go out in this gear that only has like plus 10 mage bonus, or even less if you have the berserker ring, plus 4 mage bonus and plus 271 range. She attacks you most of the time with magic and range, and she's going to just destroy you if you don't get your switches right and you're in this gear. Do get this gear once you have the hang of it, but to start things off, I'd highly recommend going in there with much higher range defense and probably mage defense. I'd swap out like the ring you can swap for a brimstone, gives you more defense. The boots you can swap for guardian, gives you like 24 extra range defense, way higher. Gloves will go with borrows, are the highest ones you have that aren't ferocious. Ferocious actually have no defense bonuses, so it's minus 12 and everything there. You can actually wear the Din's bulwark for your first kill if you want. This thing has like plus 148 range defense and loads of crush and slash and all that, so her melee attack won't hit you as often as well. So for your first kill you can wear it. It's also a crush weapon plus 110 crush bonus, and I think it's like 38 strength. It's pretty weak, but for the first kill, while you're getting the hang of it, if you go out in this stuff and you mess up the prayers, her range just won't hit you, and her mage is like 10 or 15% less likely to hit you than if you have max melee gear on. So I'd highly recommend for your first kill alone to go out in this gear. You also need to bring a magic staff and an occult for the tridents for the middle phase. You don't really need the occult, but it makes it much quicker, much more efficient, so I'd just bring it to get used to the switches. I go with a toxic trident. You can also use the Sangrelini staff or whatever that pasta one is. Right, so getting there, there's 3 different ways to get to the Nightmare. The best way is to use this here Draken's Medallion from a Taste of Hope quest. This brings you to the Theatre of Blood Bank. You can bank here, gear up. Every single kill you can just leave this in your inventory. There's the bank right beside the tally spot. There's the boat that the other 2 places bring you to, and there's the dungeon. He's in the eastern dungeon in Sleep, right? So the other 2 ways of getting there is an ectophile, and it'll just bring you here. You renew your ectophile, you run a wee bit north and pay 10k to get in the boat. Right there. The third way, because you only actually have to do Priest and Pearl to access this boss. Third way is to teleport to Frankenstein's castle. Just run over to the boat. Right, gearing up. The fights are really long, so you want to bring a good stack of brews. 6 or 7 I go with. You also want to bring a few super combat potions, just because if you're brewing down, you'll need to boost back up. These here things, Rasil's Balm, right? These are used in the second phase whenever she infects you with parasites. You need to drink them or you'll get hit for like a 60. You can also bring Sandfuse instead if you care about your inventory space, and this here is like a restore that also cures you from the parasites. So before I head out, I usually use an anglerfish just to boost an extra like 120 HP. And also because there's a lot of running, popping out stamina in the bank before you leave. And there you go, you're ready to head up to the Nightmare. You just run straight north past the boat. If you have used another teleport to get here, just come to the boat, run northeast, run through Sleep into the second dungeon, and then once you get into the dungeon you just run east and then straight north at the stairs. Super easy. Right, so you've headed over into the tunnel. The first time you get here you do need to talk to the girl just outside the Nightmare. She is just standing at the bottom of the stairs right here. Her name's Shira. You talk to her, she'll tell you about the risks of it. There she is. Chat to her once and then you can enter the Nightmare. Now there is a dedicated world for the Nightmare. I wouldn't recommend using this once you know what you're at unless you're pet hunting, but world 346 is like a Nightmare world where there is always a mass going. I think there might even be another one that's not an American world. If I find it, I'll put it in the screen here, but if not, you just come here. You can tell which phase it is by this little icon underneath her. Because there's 3 little markings here, that means it's the 3rd phase. This here fight is going to end in the next minute or so, so I'll just wait here for the next round. You can also spectate here to see where they're at, but it'll be a skull if it's just started underneath. It'll have 2 little icons if they're in the 2nd phase and 3 if they're in the 3rd. There's not many people here, but that's just because the update finished literally like 30 seconds ago. Yes, but basically you want to have the highest range defense possible, and then you want to pray mage most of the time and just learn all the mechanics. Once you know the mechanics, the Nightmare is pretty easy, and this here is one of the most profitable things to do in the game at the minute. I'll put up the math on the screen now of how much you can get average per kill, and a kill in a good 5-man team only takes about 7 or 8 minutes. So this thing here can make billions. I've already seen 5 items and I've only done like 200 KC. If you get good at the Nightmare, it's the most profitable thing in the game at the minute. Later on it won't be. I think Theatre of Blood and Raids is going to be like more profit once all the items here die down in price. It's just because anything that's new, everybody wants to try it. Prices are really inflated. So you'll want to hop in here. I'm tanking just to show them. Because she will focus on whoever has the highest slash bonus or the highest melee defense bonuses, so she's going to focus on me. It means she'll hit me with melee. She won't hit anybody else in the room with melee if they're standing away. So if you see her focusing on somebody, stand at the other side. That way you'll take less damage. So pray mage most of the time because you're so high defense in the other. That's a range attack there. I'm just going to show she won't hit very often with it when you're in this gear, so you don't actually need to worry about your prayer switches. It'll mostly be knots, even though I'm not praying the right thing there. She's barely going to hit you. But what you want to do is learn the other mechanics. Every now and then she'll throw out a black hole at you. You just need to dodge it, and that's her mage attack. So if you get good, if you notice there are prayers there, they're swapping between mage and range. She'll always focus me. In the first phase she has 2 mechanics, so she'll always do that black hole in every phase, but in this one here she'll summon some husks that attack you, and she'll also pop up these little green square. All you need to do is run into the green square. All the rest, if you stand out there, you'll take a load of damage. And she will hit you with mage if you have, or sorry, she will hit you with melee if you have the highest defenses, but that's extremely rare. She'll only use that maybe 5 or 6 times throughout the entire fight, so you don't really need to know about it. There's the other one she'll do where she summons all those husks. But yes, not as difficult as people make it out. You just need to dodge this and change your prayers, and that's it. Once her health disappears, you'll need to kill the pillars or deal with the pillars. Highly recommend setting up F keys to inventory and prayer. It just makes it much easier to flick between them, you know. You can eat a food, swap straight back to your inventory. Your mouse doesn't need to move as much, so it just makes everything much cleaner. So whenever she's dead, you need to deal with all 4 pillars around the side of the room. She'll still carry on her little cycle there of doing her 2 things, which is fine. You just need to step inside the box. You can attack the far one if you stand on it. Sorry, I didn't get my prayers in time there. As long as you stand on it, you can attack both pillars. And then once that dies, she'll spawn a load of little sleepwalkers around the side of the room. I know this sounds like a lot's happening, but that's part of learning, like part of wearing the practice gear is getting used to all these different things that are going on. It's basically 3 phases, and each phase has a different attack put in there. But yeah, super easy, just having a prayer up. You don't even need to worry too much about swapping to range prayer. You can do a full fight here at the Nightmare to learn without switching your prayers, which is quite nice. You can just pray range the entire fight. You will get hit a lot with the melee attacks. They are quite accurate, even in this gear, which is crazy, seeing how high my defense is. But anyway, second phase, she's going to infect people. She didn't actually get me there, but she infected them lads. If she infects you, your HP turns purple, and you need to drink a balm or a sanfu, or else you'll get hit for like a 50, and she'll pop out these parasites. The parasites heal her, so you want to kill them as fast as possible. So yeah, second phase is the slowest because her health isn't actually 2000. She'll get healed, so you're actually doing more. The 2 things she has here is the parasites, and she'll swap your prayers one to the left. So now melee is the middle, range is this one, and pray mage is over here. They just all switch. You'll get used to it very quickly. Again, if you're not pray switching for the kill, you can just switch it to this one and tank all the range hits. It's fine. A lot of people overthink a lot of the stuff of the Nightmare and think you have to be perfect, you have to pray switch. If you're in semi good tanky gear, you don't really. It's much easier than people let on. And for something that has such high profitable drops, I'd just say get out here and do a few kills like this. It doesn't matter if you're not the most efficient or if you mess up a little bit, because if you get one of those big drops, you're just sorted. Like, you'll be able to afford all the max gear and all. Another thing I'd say is don't bring a scythe. A lot of people do, but it's actually really expensive to use unless you've got a really good team. It's just not worth it. The bludgeon's free to use and it's only 10% less damage, whereas a scythe you're going to use an extra like 300k in supplies per kill, because it's a long fight and every hit with a scythe costs you 1200 GP. So yeah, again, she swapped my prayers to switch them to mage. I'll even tank that range one just again to show you it doesn't hit very often, so you don't really need to be praying range at all throughout the fight. There's the second phase dealt with, super easy. Then she spawns in these things you need to deal with. Oh, that one got through. So if these things get through, instead of getting hit for a 5, we'll get hit for a bit more, probably about 20. If all of them get through, you will just die. It'll just instantly kill you. There's the melee attack, so it will hit me. It's much more accurate. I don't even have my stuff back on here. But yeah, still praying mage, super easy. They'll not even bother about that range attack. It will hit you the odd time, but not to worry about. So last phase, she'll do this runny one. If you stand in front, it'll hit you for a 50. Basically, just get out of the way of that. Again, another range attack. Can't be bothered praying. Just because I'm showing you how easy this is without prayers. You can just chug a few brews. No problems at all. So once you get better at this, you will be trying to swap all those prayers, you know, and you definitely want to dodge that. That there one's the one that got me the first few days. I kept dying with that black hole. But yeah, if you're good, you just switch to prayers. You use your F keys. You usually get the hang of it. It's not as hard as people let on. I have not seen a good guide in this, because most guides just go out and tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. Just take it in little baby steps. Learn some of the mechanics and then get the prayer switching down after. I go out and do a few kills like this, and then you just know everything. You know what to expect. You get your timing right, and then eventually you'll just be perfect at it. It's not that hard. It only took me about a day to get it down to not using much food at all throughout an entire kill. Another thing I want to mention is, do you see at the end of the phases where the pillars go down? After you've dealt with all 4 pillars and she summons those ghosts. So there's the run attack again. Oh, because it ran out of that phase onto the pillar, she didn't actually use it. But yeah, the ghost she spawns, if you use a Zaradome and Godsword spec in them, it will always register a max hit, so it'll heal loads. There I've moved on to the black hole and got hit by it. But yeah, it'll always register a max hit, so if you use a Zaradome and Godsword spec on them, it'll always give you loads of prayer points and loads of HP, so I'd highly recommend bringing one of them in. It'll just save you loads of money and supplies. Another thing, don't bring brews and restores and all that whenever you're good at the game. Just not good at the game, whenever you're good at the nightmare, just bring food and prayer pots. It'll save you loads in supplies. Once you're good, it's just much better, because this here's like a million supplies. So there we go, full kill at the nightmare. There you go, super easy once you get the hang of it. Now you can head out there, kill some nightmare, make some big boy loots, get some uniques, make a load of money. But I'm going to tell you one really important thing here at the end of the video. I'm going to show you a wee clip and explain why it's really important to trust your team. So I got a couple of big loots at the nightmare, and I'm always going to split with the boys from the CC if it's in my name. But the problem is I'm usually tanking, and it's very hard to get the loot if you're tanking. You're taking more damage, you're wearing higher defense gear, so not the most defensive. I get the Inquisitor's legs, split with all the boys. Don't know how I got that as the tank, but it came at a perfect time because I was just running out of money in my account, spending all my money on Inferno attempts. But have a look at this wee lad, level 95. He goes, "Oh, can I come out with you to the nightmare?" And I was like, "Yeah, no bother, come on out, man, I'll teach you, it'll be good fun." Told him what to bring, helped him with the supplies, gear, asked in the CC, does anybody else want to come out with me in this level 95? And this here boy Zalaran goes, "Yeah, I'd love to come, but I've never been." And he was saying he doesn't know what to do and all that. I'm like, "Oh, come on out, it's easy." Helped him with his gear, helped him with his supplies, what to bring, what to do, explained it all to him. We all bailed out, and it was grand like. But have a look at this setup here. There's me tanking, I'm never going to get a kill. There's a boy Kim who's a regular in the CC, but he doesn't make it to the end. He keeps dying in the waves, which is quite funny. The wee lad died as well, but he had a load of fun. Zalarn done pretty good in his first ever attempt and nearly made it to the end of the final phase. I finished that off, and he said, "Oh, I used too much supplies and all that." I goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, man. I'll chuck you a mill at the bank and pay for your supplies." I just wanted to like teach them, have a bit of fun. But in the next kill, right, he makes it to the end and he gets a 1 KC mace. And instead of sharing with the team, which we always do, and which we'd even talked about in the middle of the previous kill, we'd actually said, "Oh, we'll share with anybody who makes it to the end of the kill," of course. But yeah, Zalarn had a different idea here. He took the mace, and I'm like, "Oh, that's class, we'll meet over at G to sort out splits and all that." But he basically just took the mace, logged out, which is just a scummy thing to do, especially when somebody's being so nice to you. So another big tip for you lads, if you're doing the nightmare, do it with people you trust. Do it in free-for-alls. I don't really like the mass world because only one person in a mass will ever get the item. That's how the nightmare is coded. You can't like all get an item. Only one in that big mass of like 26 people or 20 people, whatever, will get an item each kill. So you're better in a 5-man team you trust, or either solo, duo, or free-for-alls. But you can't free-for-all unless you're max stats with the best possible gear. There's no point in you doing the nightmare on a free-for-all, or even in the mass worlds, you'll never get the big loots. The way it's like weighted drops, if you know what that means. Yeah, this really sucked anyway, but the Nightmare's class, if you go in a good team, or if you go in duos, trios, people you trust, or even solos, pretty cool. Hope you find this video entertaining. This bit at the end is a bit of a dampener, but I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know there's loads of like informational stuff at the start. The Nightmare's a really cool boss, highly recommend trying it out. And I'll catch all you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Bye.